cultural influences on the values and lifestyle of Filipinos, a qualitative study. Let's have a quick overview. We're gonna be tackling statement of the problem, conceptual and theoretical framework, review of related literature, methodology, result, recommendations, and references. Statement of the problem. The Philippines is experiencing challenges in maintaining its traditional values such as pakikisama, getting along with others, and bayanihan, community teamwork, while facing a strong influence of Western culture brought by globalization, technology, and social media. These changes are affecting Filipino lifestyle, family, relationships, and cultural practices, especially among the younger generation, who often adopt Western ideas over their own heritage. This has led to concerns about weakening the Filipino identity, including changes in languages, moral values, and traditions. At the same time, long-standing beliefs like traditional gender roles are being questioned due to modern and progressive ideas. This study focuses on understanding these cultural changes and how the Philippines balance its rich traditions with the demands of a modern, globalized world, ensuring that its unique identity remains strong. Theoretical framework. Cultural hybridization theory. This theory says cultures don't replace each other but mix to create something new. Filipinos combine Western influence with their traditional values, forming a unique identity. For example, Filipinos celebrate Western holidays like Christmas but add their own traditions, or they speak Taglish, a mix of Filipino and English. Filipino culture isn't disappearing, it's evolving. 2. Halstead Cultural Dimensions Theory. This theory helps compare cultural differences. Individualism versus collectivism. Filipinos focus on family and community while Western cultures focus more on individual success. Masculinity versus femininity. Traditional Filipino gender roles are being influenced by Western idea of equality. Long-term versus short-term orientations. Filipino value long-term relations and helping each other while Western culture often focus on short-term goals and quick result. Conceptual framework. Independent variables. Media, individualism, consumerism, and globalization that bring Western ideas to the Philippines. Intervening variables sa person's age, whether they live in a city or province, and their financial situation can influence how can they adapt Western or Filipino values. Dependent variables, evolving Filipino identity. The mix of traditional Filipino values with Western influence creates new, changing Filipino identity.
Okay, let's proceed to RRL, or review related literature. So, literary review. First is cultural hybridizations and Filipino identity. Peiters in 1995 highlights the concept of cultural hybridization, emphasizing how globalization fosters the blending of diverse cultural elements, resulting in unique hybrid identities. Applied to the Philippines, this theory explains how Filipinos actively merge Western and traditional influence, such as the coexistence of English and Filipino in communications or the adoption of Western holidays to Filipino customs. Second is the Filipino family under modern influence. In Medina, 2001 examines the traditional structures of Filipino families, emphasizing collective responsibility and respect for elders. The study notes the modern lifestyle heavily influenced by Western values are reshaping these dynamics, particularly in urban settings where independence and smaller family units are becoming more common. There is literary review number 3 is Digital Media and Cultural Transformation. Alampay and Jackson, year 2011, explore how digital media exposes Filipino to Western ideologies, contributing to shift in moral values, language use, and consumer behavior. So the study highlights of younger generations in particular are more susceptible to this influence, leading to change in social norms and aspirations. Paragraph texts. General rules in transition. Tipwa and Protasio Marcelino, year 2000, focuses on traditional gender roles in Filipino society, shaped by religions and cultural norms. So their study documents how these roles are being challenged by leading to shift in career aspirations and household dynamics. Next is globalizations and Filipino morality. Mulder in 1997 examines the moral dimensions of Filipino culture amidst globalizations. The study highlights how values like utang na loob or deep of gratitude and pakikisama or harmony in relationships are being influenced by Western ideals such as individualism and materialism, creating tensions between traditional and modern values. So in learning study, so adapting the cultural shifts, the case of Taglish. So in year 2018, Dita and Basa conducted a linguistic study analyzing the rise of Taglish, a mix of Tagalog and English. So in Filipino communication. So their findings reveal how language serves as a medium for cultural hybridization, reflecting the blending of Western and traditional Filipino influences. generalization perspective on Filipino identity. In year 2015, Santos and Ramos compared the perception of Filipino identity to generations. So the youth and the elderly. So their study found that while younger Filipinos are more open to Western cultural elements, older generations hold steadfast to traditional values, highlighting the generation divide. Then, the impact of social media of Filipino values. So, in year 2020, Garcia and Reyes examined the role of social media in shaping Filipino values. Their study reveals the platforms like Facebook and Instagram amplify Western ideals of individualism and consumerism, significantly influence the lifestyles and aspiration of young Filipinos. Next is urbanization and family structures. So Cruz and Bautista in year 2017 explored how urbanization affects family structures in Metro Manila. So the study found the urban settings influenced by Western living standards promote nuclear families and independence, contrasting the traditional extended family system prevalent in rural areas. So bayanihan in modern times. So Flores and Yulo in year 2019 analyzed the relevance of bayanihan or communal unity in contemporary Filipino society. The study found that while traditional practices of bayanihan are declining in urban areas, they are evolving through digital platforms where communities mobilize for shared cause, reflecting a modern interpretation of values. Let's proceed to methodology. So qualitative method, a process of naturalistic inquiry that seeks an in-depth understanding of social phenomena within their natural setting. So this study uses a qualitative approach to explore how Western and traditional cultural influences shape of values and lifestyles. So a descriptive qualitative design is chosen to thoroughly examine participants' experience, thoughts, and behaviors. Purposive sampling is employed to select participants with selecting characters like age, location, cultural background, who can provide meaningful insight into the cultural dynamics being studied. So methodology, the study will collect data through in-depth interviews, focus group discussions, and participants' observation involving 40 purposefully selected participants from urban and rural areas. The focus will be on explore Western media, consumerism, individualism, and preservation of individual Filipino values like family orientation and respect for elders. Thematic analysis will be used to identify key themes such as Westernization of lifestyle, preservation of traditional values, and generalization of differences, with findings validated through triangulation. Ethical considerations, including informal content and confidentiality, will be strictly followed.
Chapter presents the findings from interviews, focus group discussion, and participant observation. The analysis reveals key terms: Westernization of lifestyle, preservation of traditional values, generational differences, and hybridization. So the first one in our result is Westernization of lifestyle. Participants, particularly in urban areas, reported adopting Western influences like social media, fashion, and individualism. The chart shows the most common Western influences. So in our chart, makita nato ang individualism, social media, and consumerism. So ang individualism is 30.2%, while social media is 37.8%, and consumerism is 32%. So in our chart, this suggests that the social media has the strongest influence on the Westernization of lifestyle among the studied participants, followed by consumerism and individualism. So in our research, the social media, consumerism, and individualism are the most common Western influences adopted by participants, particularly those residing in urban areas. So the second one in our result is preservation of traditional values. So traditional Filipino values remain strong, especially in rural areas. Core values like family-centeredness and respect for elders are highly valued. So in our chart, makita nato ang community bayanihan, family-centeredness, and respect for elders. So, this data suggests that family-centeredness is the most highly valued traditional Filipino value among those surveyed, followed closely by the respect for elders and the bayanihan spirit. So, the research indicates that traditional Filipino values remain strong, particularly in rural areas. So, in family-centeredness, there are 38%, and the most prevalent followed by respect for elders and the community spirit of bayanihan, 26.8%. So the third one in our result is generational differences. So there are clear generational differences in adopting Western practices. Younger generations are more influenced by Western values, while older generations retain traditional practices. So in our result, it reveals clear generational differences in the adoption of Western practices. So there are two pie charts illustrate this, one showing the influence of Western values across different age groups, and the other showing the adherence to traditional values. So chart 1, Western influence. Naadira ang old generation, middle age, o younger generation. Then, ang second chart, is ang traditional values. Nadira ang old generation, middle age, and younger generation. So the last one in our result is cultural hybridization. Many Filipinos blend both Western and traditional elements in their daily life. For example, Christmas combines Western gift, giving Filipino fest, and language is often a mix of English and Filipino. So the last one in our result is examines cultural hybridization in the Philippines, showing how many Filipinos blend Western and traditional elements in their daily lives. The pie chart illustrates this blend. Language, English plus Filipino, goes to 54.8%. Christmas, Western plus Filipino, 45.2%. So this indicates that a significant portion of Filipinos integrate both Western and traditional elements in their language, use, and Christmas celebrations. So here are the recommendation in our result. So the slide presents two recommendations. Recommendation 1. Expand the sample size and diversity by including participants from diverse regions and socioeconomic backgrounds. This would enhance the representativeness and generalizability of the study findings. Recommendation 2. Analyze how socioeconomic factors, education, income, and occupation influence the adoption of Western influences and the preservation of traditional values. So here are the references nga among gikuan sa amo ang research result and findings.